The idea of having a Cancer Institute in New Jersey really started to take form when the then head of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation had cancer. And he had to travel into New York and did not travel well with the cancer and the chemo and such. And he started talking to some of the people involved in the healthcare group around this area about why doesn't New Jersey have its own Cancer Institute?
Given the fact that the cancer incidence in New Jersey was so high, that seemed to be a huge problem. And therefore we said there's a huge unmet need here. And would it be possible for us to meet that need by building a great cancer center?
Growing up in Jersey, you know, there was a bit of pride in even thinking about the fact that I could be part of, you know, an effort to, you know, bring the highest level of cancer care and research excellence in the state of New Jersey. And there it was a vision and a dream. It's happened.
It was my privilege to be part of the Cancer Institute way back when it was really a feasibility study. The whole idea of having treatment, research, education, and prevention, that's what makes you comprehensive. And that was the goal from the beginning.
The other thing that a cancer center of this magnitude can and should do is be a multidisciplinary center. In other words, a patient can come in and during one visit see a surgeon, a radiation therapist, a medical oncologist, GYN oncologist when that's appropriate, in one visit, rather than having to run from place to place.
The focus and mission and vision for CINJ from the very beginning was to really target everything we do towards the patients.
And we used to say at our staff meetings, you know, the people who walk through this door every day are just like you and I, just one day after they've been diagnosed, they've been told they have cancer. And we wanted to always make sure that everyone treated patients and their families with great respect. And I think that word of how we cared for patients spread very, very quickly.
Back in 1993, when Bill Hite came and Mary Todd came with him, the initial office space was down on George Street. And I literally can remember the two of them waiting for some patients to come in through the door. That's how small things were back there.
The growth has been unbelievable, the trajectory of growth in all areas, you know, in terms of what we can do for patient care, in terms of what's going on for research, discoveries being taken into the clinic. You know, when you look at every single metric, it's really been, you know, remarkable.
Our goal was to become a National Cancer Institute designated cancer center. And it's known throughout the oncology community that this is a good housekeeping seal of approval, of quality, that we undergo rigorous peer review. And amazingly, to this day, we are the first and only center in all of New Jersey that is a National Cancer Institute designated center.
Patients know that if they come here, they're going to get cutting-edge medicine. Without clinical trials, we make no progress. It's the only way to understand whether a drug is going to be effective. Is it more effective than the current treatment? It's a very important aspect of what we do here.
Immunologists have known forever how to vaccinate someone. And you want to do it in the skin where the vaccine takes best. When we took advantage of some new technologies in looking for the immune response, what we were surprised to find is that there was a very vigorous immune response specific for the tumor going on in the tumor itself. We looked at immunizing into the tumor. As it turned out, we did it, it worked.
Some of the research that Ned has done, especially related to vaccine therapies, that are coming out of the laboratory into the clinic have really focused on some very critical tumors and cancers. And one of them is his vaccine, PanVac, in pancreatic cancer. The PanVac trial was really amazing, something that was not done anywhere else before.
Pancreas cancer is a very aggressive, very deadly disease. And lifespan in pancreas cancer can be as short as a few months after diagnosis. This particular study was quite challenging. No one had ever put a virus of this type in a pancreas before.
The nice part about the NCI is the collaborative atmosphere. So you meet people over coffee, over lunch, and talk about new ideas and what's going on in one person's lab versus what's going on in the clinic and where the needs are. You need to go bounce back and forth from the clinic to the lab and back to the clinic again. You have to bring, research to life and life to research.
And we make sure that nobody leaves this place without having a firm understanding of the impact that we expect, we hope that they'll have.
The first 10 people who try a drug are really all pioneers, but that's how we get a drug to the clinic, is by this process. And many people are helped by these new drugs. And so to have a place in New Jersey, a facility in New Jersey, where people can avail themselves of new treatments is really a fantastic resource.
We started dating in '78 and we were married in '82. I don't think there was anyone that Bert didn't like. There was so much that made him special. His big personality, his big heart, his giving, loving nature. We were married 30 years. He was always so robust and, and healthy, but he had an ache, just an ache in the lower part of his abdomen. So we went to our primary care physician. She sent him for some additional testing, and so they confirmed the fact that there was a tumor in the pancreas.
He found out after his initial surgery, when he woke up from surgery, that his pancreas couldn't be removed because he already had spread to lymph nodes. We approached him with the idea of using a vaccine in his pancreas. And he said, "I've got nothing to lose. This sounds like something I'd like to do."
When we went to CINJ the first time and we met Dr. Latimer, his optimism and his effervescent nature and his whole demeanor, it just made it a no-brainer. And of course, his attitude matched Bert's.
When Beth called and said, "Mr. Williams is here, soon to be treated, would you like to meet him?" And I jumped at the chance. I asked him, no one's ever done this before. And you're volunteering for this, what are you thinking about? He said, I've always liked a challenge, and it just all sounds good to me.
The doctors, it goes without saying, their dedication and their knowledge and their support. There was never a phone call that wasn't returned. There was never an examination that wasn't explained, or blood work that wasn't explained to us every step of the way. But the nurses, the gals we got involved with, they were like a gift to us.
Well, the trial went surprisingly well in that we didn't see in patients who didn't have metastatic disease to start with, or spread of their cancer beyond the pancreas to start with, patients seemed not to develop spread of the disease beyond the pancreas, which was quite a surprise to us.
We had a gift of 3 years. We did. We laughed every day. We tried to just do what we wanted to do. We saw our granddaughter get married. We saw grandchildren graduate from grammar school, high school, and college. So Bert said he had the most wonderful team of people working for him on his side. And we really felt that without the vaccine, we might never have had that 3 years.
The most encouraging piece is the fact that we may be in a position to develop an immune response that can have an effect on that metastatic disease. So we're designing a study where we would immunize patients who are operable before the operation.
I think anybody who has the opportunity to investigate a clinical trial shouldn't hesitate because they'll be on the cutting edge, and you don't know how many hundreds, thousands of people you can help in the future.
The reality is that you need funds to continue to build upon your ideas. Cancer research and treatment is expensive. If we are going to continue to move ahead in those areas, we need the funding to do that and support it.
The pancreas trial that we've done has been completely supported by funding from the Cancer Institute of New Jersey, as well as by philanthropy by the foundation. And it makes a real difference. The vision of hope has been here from day one. It's one of the primary pillars of the center.
Not just bricks and mortar. No, it's care. It's patient care is why we're all here.
Years ago, we said, we're off to a very good start. We're one of the comprehensive cancer centers in the United States, and that's good. But could we envision being a top 10 cancer center? You will see in the next few years under Bob's leadership that very few cancer centers in the world will be as good as this one.
It's very gratifying to see the successes of research going into trials and becoming new therapies that are better and improving the lives of patients, saving lives of patients, and improving their quality of life.
Well, when you start something out, you want to build it, and sometimes you just don't know how big it's going to get. I think we're still scratching the surface of what we can be. With the recent reorganization with Rutgers, there's no limit to how this place can continue to grow and serve the people of New Jersey.
We have a lot more firepower now. We have a lot more talent. We have to utilize that talent now in terms of translating all that terrific scientific talent into our clinical protocols and treatments.
There's nothing worse, I don't think, than hearing a diagnosis of cancer. But you come to a place like this and you have the hope that you will be around for a very long time, living healthy and productive lives.